Welcome to the channel. I'm Jackie Hodges and I'm glad you're here today. Today we are going to be talking about a luminous foundation finish. And so I prefer right now, especially in this season when I'm recording this, this is mid-November. We're heading into winter and I prefer a luminous dewy foundation look. And so I wear different foundations at different times of year, but right now I'm really switching over to my Luminous. And so I wanted to just show you some different methods of applying luminous foundation and kind of fill you in on how I do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply foundation primer. I always put primer on underneath my makeup. My skin is already prepped and ready except for foundation primer. And so applying just a little bit of primer. I use it mostly in my T-zone, but you can use it everywhere. And I'm going to be using a full coverage foundation today. The full coverage that foundation that I use doesn't require much concealer. And so that's one of the reasons I love it. So I'm going to use Mary Kay's Luminous 3D foundation. And the color that I'm using right now is Beige Cool 110. One thing that's really cool that I do is I do virtual foundation matching. And so if that's something that you're in need of, reach out to me. I would love to send you a foundation sample pack and have a virtual consultation with you and help you find the perfect match, because isn't that no fun to go to the department store or Walmart or wherever you can't try it on, and you can't try anything on anywhere right now because we're living in the COVID times. And so it's hard to match a foundation. And so a cool thing about just the foundation experience that I offer you is that you get to try foundation samples at home, and you even get to try them and let me look at them virtually to help you choose the very best one that's right for you. So let's get started. So what I do, well, first of all, these are the three options that I choose for foundation application. This is a medium coverage foundation brush. It has pretty stiff bristles, soft but stiff. And I use this when I want a medium coverage, and I like to use it as a buffer if I'm going to use this brush. It's an angled brush. I apply foundation a mix between fingers and brushes. This is what I would call a full coverage brush. My company calls it a blending brush. It looks like a sponge, but it's not. It is actually bristles, and it's very soft. I love using this around my eye area when I need to blend because it is so soft. It gives you more of an airbrushed finish. I use this for weddings. And then the last one that besides my fingers, and you can tell this is my trusty blending sponge. This is my makeup blending sponge, and I use this when I want a very natural finish, but I want to be able to apply different layers of coverage. And so on my skin, I always feel like unless I'm just going really natural, I always want a second layer of foundation just right across here, but everywhere else is okay. When you're choosing a foundation, you want to choose a foundation that is easily buildable if you feel like you need different levels of coverage in different places. So let's get started. So all I'm gonna do is I am going to take this makeup on my finger and just apply a few dots to my face. And remember, this is luminous coverage, full coverage, and so it is going to give me a nice luminous finish. It also, the same shade also comes in matte. All right, so then I'm just gonna take my blending sponge and just pat, and that's all I do with this. Initially, when I'm doing the first application, I'm just taking, got it in my hair, should put a headband on. Taking what's there and just patting it in, kind of pressing it into my skin so that I can see like the amount of coverage that's giving me. You can tell it doesn't take much makeup. One of the things that's really great about a good quality foundation is you don't have to use very much. The more concentrated it is, the farther it goes. And yeah. All right, I'm gonna have to apply a little bit more on this side. Do just a little more. And this makeup sponge can be washed out. I wash mine with Dawn dish soap about, I don't know, every third or fourth use. because if you don't, then you are really just reapplying old makeup on your face every time it gets wet. I have a little sun damage on this side of my face, so I apply just a little extra right there always. Okay, and then I'm gonna, I do have one other little tool that I like to use. This is a little mini sponge. I'm gonna take a little bit of my foundation and just put it on the end of the mini sponge. I'm not sure if I want to use concealer or under eye corrector or any kind of brightener today, so I think I can just use my foundation to get what I'm looking for on this day. You know, every day with makeup is a little different. It's like you pick your outfit, you pick how you're gonna wear your hair, maybe what perfume you're gonna wear. Well, your makeup's the same. Like, you don't have to do it the same every day. And so I love this little tiny sponge. It's just so nice to work with around the eyes. This is something that my company has during the holidays. And at first when we got it, I was like, what is this? What is this little tiny thing? Who's gonna use that? What am I gonna use that for? And then I realized what I was gonna use it for. Working right around my eyes. All right, and I use that same sponge just to do just a little bit right here. Got a little redness. So you can kind of see I kind of use my makeup like a little bit of concealer when I don't want to, I want to have a luminous look, but I don't want to go back in and add a lot more makeup or layers of other products. And so I do not mind a little bit of freckling coming out like what you see right there. I think freckles are youthful and natural. And so here is my finished Luminous foundation coverage look for today. I'm just going for a full coverage, but a pretty natural look. And so that was Beige Cool 110 Luminous foundation primer, and of course I used the blending sponge. If there's a way that I can serve you with a foundation matching experience, I would love to do that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe.